Good morning, Southwest Florida. This is Alfie Townsend. You're listening to Saving the Investor radio show. We are here to really give you some news for the week of what happened last week, and a lot happened in the market, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the election. We're going to talk about what is really going to go on with your portfolio during election years usually. So stay tuned. I hope you're having a great morning so far. The weather is good, and John and I will go play some golf afterwards. But welcome to the show, John.
Yeah, great to be here. Welcome to Saving the Investor. You know, this is Southwest Florida's premier radio program that's dedicated to helping investors like yourself navigate the complexities of the ever-evolving investment landscape. And today is no exception. We're going to be tackling a pressing issue. That's the imminent risk of taxes on your retirement. You know, we just came out of tax season, and if you feel like you've been paying too much in taxes, there is a ticking time bomb that demands your proactive attention because taxes are complex and they're getting ready to change in 2025. And you don't want to be feeling overwhelmed or really left out of the scenario. Alfie is here to guide you towards securing your financial future. And it's a reality with Alfie's tax bill calculator. Now is really the time to take control of your financial destiny. Time is of the essence, and waiting could be costly. You need to pick up the phone and text the word SAVE, S-A-V-E, to 239-747-1077 to unlock the power of Alfie's tax bill. You know, it's a unique tool that will analyze your unique financial situation, providing actual insights tailored especially for you. Call the operator or text the word SAVE to 239-747-1077 and get that important package that he has waiting for you on taxes. And Alfie, the market has been up, it's been down, and doing what it's supposed to do. But as you always say, returns come from the volatility, and we need to ride the waves of what's taking place. What is your projection of what's taking place in the market, and why are investors pulling back at the end of the week?
So we look at Thursday, we had some numbers that came out. We had GDP numbers, first quarter GDP numbers came out lower than expected. We also had some numbers coming out for inflation, and that was hotter than expected. So that's not a good combination. You know, we've been talking about a possible recession down the road. What that means is it could happen because of these numbers, that the way they're coming out. And the other thing that could happen is not getting that, you know, raising or lowering of interest rates, John. And that's what happened altogether with these two numbers that came out this past Thursday. It really shocked the market a little bit, and it had a big hit because of, you know, is this going to be no rate decreases for this year? And is this going to be where the companies aren't going to be making money like they were making money? So there's a lot of things that are all tied into this. You had Tesla reported. Now this is the market, though. It adjusted first quarter earnings was 45 cents a share, which means the revenue was $21.3 billion. Now, the analyst was really looking for 49 cents a share, so it missed it. The revenue, again, $22 billion. The net income for the quarter fell, though, 55%.
That's
from a year earlier. Yeah. And to 1.1 billion. Now that, even though the revenue declined 9%, the stocks went up before Thursday. The stocks went up 12%. So that's what you talked about the market, John. The market is, you know, they look ahead. So when you start seeing drops and rises, you're really looking at things in the future. So what's happening on Monday, coming up Monday, doesn't, you know, that means it's not really that day. It means what they're looking at for the future.
Yeah, it's very important. And, you know, obviously things are tied to what's happening with the amount of money that we're sending overseas, you know, that $90 billion package that was just passed. How does the Middle East really affect things and what's taking place in Ukraine? Because we just keep funding these wars that we're not involved in, but all that money has to affect us somehow with the inflation rate obviously continually going up, like you said. How can he drop rates if we keep pumping money out to other countries?
It's hard. That's one thing Trump was talking about earlier this week. When you're funding all these wars, and you're giving money to everybody except really our country, then what happens is the dollar, inflation numbers start to go up again. It's hard to curb inflation. So the feds are probably hating this because they're trying to make it where it's a soft landing, and they keep giving money away like we have unlimited money.
Yeah.
And what it's doing is pouring too much money into the economy, and it's making the dollar down, and then it's driving inflation up. So again, not a good combination. When you have a president that has no business experience at all, and again, this isn't really Biden running the country. He can't run the country. These things that are coming out, you know who it is. It's these young kids in the administration that's wanting all this change for the country that is killing the country, but it is not a good combination to have these people running the country because they don't know really how to run a country and how to run a company, much less a country.
Yeah, well, there's so many things that are happening nationally here in America and globally around the world that can have a major effect on your financial future. And, Alfie has put together a brand new book, Making Waves in Retirement. And obviously, you're going to sail through some storms, some waves, some things that are really beyond your control. But due to popular demand, Alfie is offering a free copy, a complimentary copy of his brand new book, absolutely for you. And it's going to answer some questions that are on your mind or even things that are keeping you up at night. Really, to get a hold of this book, all you have to do is text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. If you don't text, just call the number, tell the operator I want to take advantage of Alfie's complimentary copy of his brand new book, Making Waves in Retirement, 239-747-1077. Alfie's book is a guide to a fulfilling retirement, and you don't want to miss out on valuable insights, including many, many stories about investors that he has helped save from the pitfalls, the schemes, the traps of Wall Street. Text the word book right now. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Pick up your smart device. Text the word book to 239-747-1077. And Alfie, investing is very complex. It's hard enough when you have a thriving economy like we had just less than 5 years ago. But now we have a complex inflationary rate. We have high interest rates. We have taxes that are about to go up in 2025. I can't imagine what you do for 40 years helping investors and saving investors really navigate through the fog of investing. It's getting more and more difficult. That's why people may need a second pair of eyes, or even the advisor that they're with right now may not be the one that can take them through this storm that's about to hit as we go through these complex problems.
There's a lot, like you talked about. You have the Middle East, you have inflation, you just have, and now you have all these protests going on. It just seems the world around us is just falling. But you have to realize you're a pastor, John, so you have to put your faith in God and know that He's in control, and He knows what's going on, and He will get this straightened out. But we need Him now more than ever, because right now it does. If you were to just watch the news all the time and look at this, you would be depressed.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of depressed people out there. But I like your attitude, John. You're a man of faith, and you just know that things are gonna get better, and there's a reason why things are happening. And and I'm looking at it this way. I'm looking at if everything was hunky dory, then maybe Biden gets reelected. We cannot have him get reelected. We just cannot have him get reelected. President Trump needs to really man the ship and get it back on course, because it's off course right now. It's heading towards sandbar, really. And so he needs to redirect it, and he's the one to do it. So poll numbers are looking good. But we're going to talk about, when we get back here, what you can be doing, how you can take advantage of a volatile market, and what you should be doing at this time, because markets are volatile right now, but there's opportunities out there too. So don't go panicking and putting your money in gold and thinking that's going to be the solution. It's a short-term solution, not a long-term solution. You're listening to Save the Investor. I'm Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida certified financial planner professional. Our phone number here is 239-747-1077. That's 747-1077. If you'd like to get a second set of eyes, a look at what you have and see if we can put you in better shape, give us a call.
Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend. You know, Alfie has over 40 years of experience as a certified financial planner professional, and he's a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you. And if economic uncertainties are putting your financial decisions on hold, you really need to get a hold of Alfie's free toolkit today that will help transform your worries of retirement into confidence. You know, inside Alfie's toolkit, it's going to give you a wide range of materials, such as, will your money last as long as you do? You need to answer that question. Are you paying too much in taxes in retirement? We're going to talk about how you can reduce your tax base today. The Social Security Decisions Guide, when is the opportune time to maximize your benefits? And will a recession rob your retirement? To get Alfie's free toolkit, simply text the word KIT, that's KIT, to 239-747-1077. It'll take you to a landing page where you can check out and get all of that information absolutely free. If you don't text, don't worry. Just call the operator and tell them I want to take advantage of Alfie's free toolkit today, 239-747-1077. Again, text the word KIT, KIT, to 239-747-1077. 1077. We're talking about all the things that are happening globally that's affecting the markets, the high interest rates, inflation, taxes that are getting set to expire. But Alfie, what you do, even in the midst of all this turmoil, is you find opportunities that investors can maximize even in an uncertain market, don't you?
Absolutely. So, you know, in a down market, John, there's some things you can do. Roth conversions, and I'm going to talk a little bit about a Roth conversion. That's taking money from a traditional IRA, moving it over to a Roth IRA and paying tax on it now. So pay me now or pay me later. So that means all that money will grow tax-free. So if you do it in a down market, typically that market rebounds fast. So you're getting growth immediately on something that you're going to be not having to pay taxes on, the principal or the gains ever. Okay, unless you take it out before 5 years. There's some taxes, but if you already have one established, there's no taxes. And the reason I say that is this: this past Tuesday on his X, which is Twitter, campaign account, what he said is Donald Trump was very proud of his $2 trillion tax cut that was overwhelmingly benefited the wealthy and the biggest corporations, and exploded the federal debt. Now, he's blaming the debt on this tax cut that really put money into the coffer, not took it out of. But now what he said is the tax cut is going to expire. So we know that this, if nothing happens, 2025 next year, it expires. So if it expires and nothing is done, it goes back to the old rate, which is a big increase. And he says, if I'm reelected, it's going to stay expired. So just think about this. He's telling you right now, if he gets elected, President Biden, if he gets elected, he's going to not make any changes to keep this old, the
tax code
existing code is going to go back to the old one, which is a big increase in taxes. So why would you want to have that? You don't want that. You don't want to pay higher taxes. And so a Roth IRA, Roth conversion, so we want to look at that. We want to look at to see if that is appropriate for you at this time. So if you have questions on that, John will give you the number to give us a call. But there's a lot of things on a structured note. We'll talk about that. If you're looking for income, these structured notes are paying close to 9%. And when the market is volatile, they go up even higher. So with the volatility that we're experiencing, take advantage of it. A structured note is based on options. And when options, really, you get more premium on your money with options when the market is volatile. So that does benefit you if you're doing this type of investing. So if you're looking for income, 9% is not bad. It's twice what the CDs are paying, but these are geared to give you income every month, for guaranteed 21 months. Now, they typically call these notes after 1 year, but that means 1 year you have this guaranteed income as long as the S&P or NASDAQ doesn't fall below 30%. So that's called a buffer. And that's even adjustable if we want to, if you want 40% protection, I don't recommend it, but you can even have that, get a little bit less interest, but it's worth to look at to get some income and fight inflation, because inflation, John, going out to dinner right now, I don't know how families, large families especially, or just couples, how they are going out to dinner, and with the tip, I wonder if the waitresses and waiters are getting hosed because things are so expensive.
You never know. It is pricey, and something that is affecting a lot of people on many fronts. And things are costing more, as you said, and that's why you really want to deal with somebody who is Southwest Florida's premier financial planner professional. Alfie has over 40 years of experience in this industry as a certified financial planner. He's also a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you, and you owe it to yourself to come in and see the service that he can offer you, because there's many products that are available that you may not have heard about before. That's why he does what's called a retirement simulator process, where he'll take a deep dive into your current portfolio to see what's really going on. He's going to expose all the hidden fees that could be eating up your returns. He's going to make sure that you're allocated properly, that you're diversified correctly. How about not taking undue risk for the amount of return that you're getting each and every year? You owe it to yourself to come in, sit down. It's a tremendous process with his incredible team here. All you have to do is text the word VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 239-747-1077. Call the operator or text the word VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 239-747-1077. Make an appointment with Alfie in Fort Myers or Naples. And Alfie, a lot going on that we're talking about that's affecting the markets. One of the things that he's going to let the tax cuts expire. The border is wide open. How about oil? We're talking about the fact that Trump wanted to fill up the reserves when oil was $1.25. Now we're pushing close to $4 again in oil, and the reserves are very, very low. It looks like they want to push everybody towards electric vehicles, which Americans do not want at this point. We still like our gas-fired engines. How is that a strategic play? Because I know you invest in oil stocks, and a lot of times you have a plan and a strategy that we talked about before where you could sell Exxon and buy a Chevron and get involved. There are things that you do that a lot of people haven't heard of before, and that's why you want to visit with Alfie here in Fort Myers.
Thanks, John. So let's look at a concentrated portfolio. So if you come in, and let's say you have a portfolio that has a lot of gains in it. So what we would do, we would bring it over like for like, but what we would be doing is working it. And that means that, let's say if you said, I can afford to do $100,000 of long-term cap gains this year. So what we would do is our managers are going to look at opportunities inside your portfolio to liquidate some of your stocks that have some gains in there. And so now what that does, it creates a tax for you, okay? But it's a long-term cap gain tax. But what we do is then we buy a portfolio, let's say the S&P 500, 50 stocks, and what they're going to do is they're going to look for losses in that while you stay invested, meaning you're going to track the S&P, but what they're able to do, because these are 50 to 70 stocks, they're going to sell Exxon if Exxon's going down. Now, you can't buy it right back because it's called a wash rule, where you can't buy the same stock you're taking deduction for 30 days. So that's no problem. So we sell Exxon, but we keep you invested and we buy Chevron. And then so now you stay invested and we get a little of a tax deduction for you that's creating a loss down the road that you can offset gains. So what we keep doing that over and over and over, and then we'll sell Exxon or Chevron when it goes down to buy Exxon. So we keep you invested, but what we do is we create some losses instead of just having the stock go down and up, down and up. As it goes down, we're going to take advantage of it. As it goes back up, you get double the advantage. So this is something that we do here that a lot of people don't even think about doing. If you're needing income, we can do options on the S&P and create you about a 3% income. So if you have money that you want to invest in the S&P and get additional 3% added onto your dividends, we can do that for you. So these are things that we do that other advisors aren't even talking about because they don't do it, John.
Yeah.
They don't do it. So what we want to do is look at to see if we can reduce those fees for you, put you in a portfolio that's covering the market, but you're taking advantage of ups and downs, and you're not just sitting there just watching it go up and down, and then your advisor pretty much tells you, hey, just write it out. It will come back.
Yeah, well, that's important. It's passive, but yet it's aggressive in the sense that you're constantly working within the framework of the portfolio. That's why you want to give Alfie a call. Phone number is 239-747-1077. Again, you can visit with him in Fort Myers or Naples. Just text the word visit or call the operator 239-747-1077. You owe it to yourself to get a second pair of eyes, and not just any eyes that have been doing this for 40 years as a certified financial planner professional. 239-747-1077. Don't hesitate. We're going to be right back right after this break, so don't go away.
This is Alfie Townsend. You're listening to Saving the Investor radio show here in Southwest Florida. And we have John Antonucci, and we're going to go through some questions today that we've gotten from clients from our TV show, from our radio show, just from clients in general. And we're going to share those with you and really tell you how we help them get to and through retirement.
Yeah, the phone number to call, as always, is 239-747-1077. That's 239-747-1077. Alfie's book was in high demand again last week, and due to popular demand, Alfie's offering it again. A complimentary copy of his book awaits you. Brand new book called Making Waves in Retirement, From Waypoint to Waypoint. It'll help you navigate through the storms that take place in the investing world. To claim your book, just text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. If you don't text, just call the operator and tell them I want to take advantage of Alfie's complimentary copy of his new book, Making Waves in Retirement, 239-747-1077. We're talking about case studies today that Alfie has dealt with in the lives of investors over the years, because he saved many investors from the pitfalls, the schemes, the traps of Wall Street. And Sarah was concerned about how political uncertainty during an election year might affect her investment. She's considering whether she should adjust her portfolio allocation to minimize potential impacts. How could that impact her financial goals and retirement plans if she makes drastic changes just in the midst of an election year?
Yeah, just because election year is happening, it doesn't mean that you have to make major adjustments. If you look at just the S&P by itself, since 1928 to current, you're looking at, there was 23 different elections, incumbents and things. So there was 19 of them were positive in an election year. 19 of the S&P was positive, and then there was only 4 negative out of the 23. So if you're going to look at the odds, you're saying, you know what, I'd just stay invested and not worry so much about the S&P, going down, or my portfolio going down. Because in an election year, it's usually good because there could be some change, some excitement. But some of the things that we would want to look at is, you don't want to have everything going down and up at the same time. So we want to make sure you're diversified. We want to make sure you have what we call maybe some buffer ETFs. Buffer ETFs where they might protect the first 10% down, 20% down of your portfolio by giving up the responsibility, by giving the responsibility to the company, the ETF, exchange traded funds. You're swapping a little bit of interest on the upside. So if the market went up 20, you might only go up 15, 16. But if you're good with that, then that's a way to protect some of the downside without trying to time the market, John. We talk about timing the market. It's got to be right twice all the time. When to sell, when to get back in, back and forth. So that's something, if you're concerned about the market, maybe like a buffer ETF would do. Or there's interest rates in some short-term bonds that are yielding pretty good right now.
Yeah, very important, to deal with somebody who has experience, in, political years. Alfie's been through many political years and over 40 years experience in this industry. So if you're somebody who's saying, you know what, we're in a political season and I want to be able to, make some moves, why don't you talk to Alfie and let him run it by what he does and see if it's a right fit for you. 239-747-1077. John is a seasoned investor who sees election years as opportunities rather than uncertainties. He wants to know how he can identify and capitalize on market shifts during such periods to enhance his investment return. So a lot of people out there are looking for opportunities, buying opportunities, and you have them available, don't you?
We do. Like we were talking about, John, the opportunities sometimes in a volatile market are options, and our managers that we seek out and vet are ones that love the option market. That means that they're buying puts and calls on the S&P, sometimes on the NASDAQ. What they're doing is they're able to capitalize extra return by having these options. And if you're not familiar with them, hey, I understand. But the bottom line is there's money to be made in a down market. Sometimes there's money to be made in volatility. We talk about the structured notes all the time. As the market is volatile, we're going to be able to get more interest for our clients. Right now they're right around 9%, but it wasn't too long ago when the market last year was really going down. It was paying a little over 10%. So this is a guaranteed income that we're talking about, and it's 21 months long, and they usually get called after 12 months as long as the S&P and NASDAQ doesn't go below 30%. Because of these options, we're able to create some serious income for our clients. So if you're looking for income, some people don't take the income, John. Some people just say, you know what, it's IRA money. Let's just put it back into the IRA and know that I'm getting a 8%, 9% return, and I don't have to pay taxes on it, but it's growing the account with a lot of protection.
Yeah, that's really important. And if your advisor has you in something that maybe you're only getting 3, 4, 5% returns, this might be an option for you to really boost your returns in retirement and increase your income plan each and every year. You owe it to yourself to give Alfie a call and find out about that. 239-747-1077. Again, that's 239-747-1077. You can visit with him in Fort Myers or Naples and find out about that structured note that he's talking about on this broadcast. Mike has diversified his portfolio with international investments. I know years ago we talked big about international, but he worries about how the geopolitical events during an election year might influence his holdings. How should he assess and mitigate these risks?
Yes, so if he has a lot of international stock, I would say, whoa. I would really look at that and want to encourage him to really diversify way more into the U.S. holdings than international holdings. U.S. holdings are ahead of the game, meaning that they're ahead of the tax increases already. More of tax cuts are coming versus they waited a little bit longer, so their inflation is going to be a little bit more. Our dollar stronger. You can see the international, like the euro is coming down. It used to be 160 to a dollar, and then it was at 130, and then it was at 120 for a long time versus a dollar. Now it's under 110 versus a dollar. So it's sliding down as the dollar stays strong. So I like the U.S. stocks. Our managers are encouraging us to really push just U.S. holdings more than, just at least 95% in U.S. If you're going to do anything in international, it's not going to be more than that, 5% or so, 10 the max.
Yeah. Well, that's great advice, because a lot of you might be sitting there holding, and you may not even know what you're holding in your portfolio. That's why you want to get a second opinion. Let Alfie look at your portfolio. Give him a call at any time, 239-747-1077. Emily is curious about how market sentiment varies depending on the likelihood of the incumbent, God forbid, winning re-election. How might investors' behavior differ, and what implications does this have for an investment strategy? So let's say Biden does get reelected. I mean, is that going to have a positive or negative effect on the market? Or if Trump gets elected, is that going to be positive or negative? We really don't know, right?
We really don't know, but typically what happens, I think in a case like this, with Biden getting reelected, I think a lot of um, people themselves would switch a lot of their holdings into more safer stuff and more guarantee stuff, because we just cannot keep spending the money that we're spending and expect the same type of results, because money is going to get to the point where the debt is just getting paid by the money coming in, and we don't have enough money to pay the debt and all the expenses we're at that right now. So that would be, I think, pretty bad news if Biden does get reelected. But if that happens, we have strategies for our clients, but we will go more defensive mode. If Trump gets elected, it's going to be more of growth mode versus a protection mode. So it does matter. We don't know what would happen and what the thoughts are, but I'm just telling you what we're thinking from our managers and everything would be more defensive if Biden gets in, more growth oriented if Trump gets in.
Yeah, we're about 195 days from the presidential election, and really, you can't wait. You need to really get a plan together. If you don't have an income plan or a strategy, you owe it to yourself to sit down with Alfie Townsend. He has put together a retirement simulator process, and you need it. If you haven't had your portfolio examined in over a year, you need to come in here, Fort Myers or Naples, and let him do that. His retirement simulator process will put your current portfolio through a stress test to see what's really going on. It's a deep dive into your portfolio. It'll actually take you back 5 years, and he'll show you side by side his portfolio and how it's performed right next to your portfolio, and you'll be able to see in black and white what his made versus what yours made or didn't make. And that's why you want to come in and do that, because he's going to expose all the hidden fees inside your portfolio. He's going to make sure you're allocated properly, that you're diversified correctly, that you're not taking undue risk for the amount of return that you're getting. He's going to put together an income plan and a strategy that will get you to and through retirement. Matter of fact, he's the best at it. He's Southwest Florida's premier financial planner professional, because he has over 40 years of experience as a CFP. And best of all, he's a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you, not the products and services that he offers here through the Advantage Retirement Group. Listen, don't hesitate. Don't wait till the end of the broadcast. Pick up your smart device right now. Text the word VISIT, VISIT, to 239-747-1077. Make an appointment today. Alfie, it's vital that they make an appointment, because 195 days, they want to be in position for what's going to happen, and you get them ready and prepared for anything that comes down, don't you?
Well, we have to. We have to. So, like you said, John, this is a vital time. You have an election that's right around the corner. This is the time to really put a plan in place, and income planning is one of the most important things, and tax planning is right there with it. So tax planning, income planning, put that plan in place, and so you have some of that. You have confidence going into the new year with a new president or the existing president. When I say we, is I'm counting myself and my family, and John and his family, as saying Trump for the new year.
Yeah.
That'd be great. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend. Alfie has over 40 years experience as a CFP, as a fiduciary, and he's just come out with a brand new book called Making Waves in Retirement, From Waypoint to Waypoint. It's to get you through the storms of navigating through this complex investment landscape that we're in right now. Alfie's offering his complimentary book. It's waiting for you. All you have to do is pick up the phone and text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. Alfie's book is your guide to a fulfilling retirement. Don't miss out on these valuable insights, including many, many stories about investors he has helped save over the years from the pitfalls, the schemes, the traps of Wall Street. 239-747-1077. Call the operator or text the word book to that number, and you'll get it right away. We're talking about questions that people are asking Alfie, especially in an election year. And Pam came in recently, and she was talking to Alfie, and Alfie was talking about all these different strategies that he offers, and income planning and structured notes and all the things that she never heard of before. She's been with her advisor for over 15 years. And Alfie, she was really puzzled by the fact that her advisor basically just allows her portfolio to sit there, and she hears from him maybe once a year. She was a little bit perplexed about that. Maybe you want to talk about that, because we may have listeners that are out there listening to you on radio today that are in that same position where they don't hear from their advisors at all.
Yeah, and I hear that quite often. The strategies that we're giving, they act like they're brand new. I've never heard of them. Most of them say, and the thing about it is this: a lot of times, the new clients that we end up getting here at the Advanced Retirement Group are people that already have advisors. So they're not do-it-yourselfers. Majority of them already have advisors, and they're choosing to leave their advisors after we put a plan together, and they see our team. They see the professionalism. They also see the detailed plan that we're putting together for their retirement. And the question that you're talking about, John, is maybe Pam outgrew her advisor, and that's exactly what happened. So a lot of times, if you're not hearing about these alternatives that we're talking about, this direct indexing, creating extra money, these are all things that benefit you. And if you're not hearing about them, you might need to set up an appointment, because you might be like Pam, where you've outgrown your advisor, or your advisor doesn't really take time like we take time to go out and travel to these conventions and these workshops that we have to really learn about what's coming around the corner. And that's what we do. And I told you my cousin Steve's story many times. So I'm not going to get into that, but you got to stay ahead in any profession that you are in. And that's why we are very successful here at the Advanced Retirement Group, because we are always learning, and we're always surrounding ourselves with people that can help us get to the next level. That's, so if you're not hearing about these strategies, about creating extra income from your portfolio, taking tax loss harvesting, and I'm not talking about tax loss harvesting at the end of the year, you sell a couple stocks and deduct them. No, I'm talking about throughout the year we're doing this. We're looking for opportunities for you. So these are things that will create added return, added value to your current retirement plan.
Yeah, if you're listening, maybe you listen to Alfie for months and months or even years, and you haven't really acted or made a move. What do you have to lose? You have everything to gain. If you're sitting, in a portfolio with an advisor that's not really doing anything for you, and your portfolio is stale, you owe it to yourself to get a second opinion. All you have to do is text the word VISIT, VISIT, to 239-747-1077, or just call the operator. Call that number, 239-747-1077, and just tell them, I want to get a second opinion. I want Alfie just to look over what I have and make any recommendations. Listen, if you're doing well, if you're financially in the right plan and the right strategy, Alfie's going to tell you that as well. He's going to let you know, because he is here to get you to and through retirement. It's not about just making you a client. It's about giving you the best opportunity and the best plan for you to succeed in your retirement years. 239-747-1077. That's 239-747-1077. You owe it to yourself. You can text the word VISIT to that number. We're living in Southwest Florida. Real estate prices are at an all-time high here. Interest rates are at an all-time high. Houses aren't really selling. Last I checked, just in Fort Myers and in Estero, just those two areas, over 5,900 properties. And Robert is considering investing in real estate as part of his retirement portfolio. What are the potential benefits and drawbacks, and how should he proceed to ensure a successful investment?
Well, real estate is something you either want to be in real estate, or you want to, do you want to manage your real estate holdings? That's the thing. And some people do very well at that. If you're a handyman and you're doing it yourself, that's a whole different story, because if you can fix things, you can make more money doing that. If you buy the property at the right price, you can make money in it. But I just personally, myself, I've never had real estate where we own our building here at the Advanced Retirement Group, but we do not have real estate as investments where I charge, for rent and stuff like that, because it's just I hear stories.
Can be a headache, right?
It's a headache, John. I hear stories all the time about this one family left their house a mess. They had to put $20,000 into it. The walls were messed up. I have to say, I did rent one time when we moved from Florida I had just built a home. I was 26 years old, my first home, and it was in Tampa area. And I got a promotion and moved over to D.C. when I was working with this Ray Griffin, and I just built the home. I was there 4 weeks, and I said, "Yep." Tommy said, "Yeah, let's do it." So we moved over there and we rented our house, and it was the nicest old couple, nicest. They were as nice as can be, and it was about a year and a half, and then I wasn't getting paychecks. I quit getting, so I had to fly back down, and I found out that I had to tell them, get out, you owe money, and I think the microwave was broken. We had paint inside. It was like these were a nice old couple that left it pretty bad, So maybe that's what discouraged me from leasing or renting. So real estate, if that's your game, you can have some of it, but it's not really. I like liquid assets that you can get in and out if you have to.
Yeah. What about aren't there stock options or ETFs or something people can buy?
You could have a REIT if you want real estate. Yeah. You can own a REIT. Be careful with those. If it's a private REIT, they're very hard to get out of.
Yeah. Well, Alfie has given you a lot of wisdom and insight on this broadcast today. I hope we touched on some things that are on your mind. And before we sign off, I do have a very special offer for all of you that have been listening. As always, Alfie's book was flying off the shelves last week, and due to popular demand, he's making a limited number of free copies available again. This book is your roadmap to a fulfilling retirement, packed with valuable insights and real-life stories of investors Alfie has helped save. That's why he's named this broadcast Saving the Investor, because he wants to save you from the pitfalls, the schemes, the traps of Wall Street. And it's a perfect guide to navigate your financial future with confidence. Don't wait. All you have to do is text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077, or simply call us at that same number, 239-747-1077.
Thank you, John. I'm going to leave a few seconds at the end so you can give your address to your church and your service times and stuff like that for this Sunday if they'd like to go. We've been getting some comments on that, so wanted to do that. Again, thank you for listening. I hope we touched on something that helped you. If you need any help at all, we're here for you for your retirement. If you never watched our show, Saving the Investor, it's on NBC2 after Meet the Press at 11 o'clock, 11 to 11:30 every Sunday. And, of course, here on 92.5, we've been here for well over 10 years now, spreading the good news, I hope. And, John, go ahead, talk a little bit about your church.
Yeah, I've been pastoring down here for over 20 years at the Faith Center, great church right on Highway 41 South, just off of Michael G. Rip Extension, or about a mile south of Alico Road in the Harbor Plaza. If you want to visit us, if you're looking for a spiritual connection where you can be uplifted, encouraged, I teach the Word of God Uncompromised every Sunday at 10:30. Feel free to join us there at the Faith Center. You can go to thefaithcenter.com. Again, you can see all of our messages there absolutely free, thefaithcenter.com. You'll find out we're a welcoming family of believers who's bringing God's grace, hope, and love to our community. And I invite you and your family to come out, especially in this uncertain climate in the world today, very uncertain things happening around the globe. And this is a time to really connect with God and really establish a firm foundation in the Word of God. Go to thefaithcenter.com. Thanks for joining us today on this broadcast. Until next week, be blessed.